Welcome everyone back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Mob Psycho 300 episode 4. Last time we were maybe a little bit too harsh on the season, and we apologize for that. But let's just get on with the story. Because we love Mob Psycho. We all just kind of need to relax. Let's just watch the show and have fun. Oh, you put the subtitles back on.
どうして待ち合わせおはようモブ君昨日の約束ねすっかり忘れてたわ忘れてたって集会があってそこにフラッと現れたのよ本物の教祖さん人違いだブ君のこと巻き込んでごめんねもう大丈夫だから
I wonder if she's the one behind it. What if she took control of the founder? Because she's all like trying to push him to become like a religious leader.
I already know it's Dimple. It's got to be him. And his original thing was he was like brainwashing people. So. Someone been in his locker?
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly forgot about meeting him too.
Seems like some shit's about to go down this episode. Everybody's moving way too like smoothly.
Yeah, she definitely got invited to a meeting a la Mob that first time. You're not, like, concerned about this at all, that someone's impersonating him?
They're not really impersonating him. They didn't say that I'm Shigeo Kageyama.
Yeah, no, but they... We can't actually fix it. Slightly?
I mean, it was an accident.
Yeah. No.
Does Mob now want to destroy this broccoli because it's like connected to the thing that's making him lose popularity? Is that like part of it? He's like,
or is just he doesn't really care about it either way and is destroying the city?
I don't know.
The Divine Tree's bounty. This is broccoli.
I mean, hey, if everybody's eating broccoli,
yeah,
as long as it's just broccoli and not something else.
Wow.
I wonder if psychic people eating it can like feel some sort of influence. We're about to find out with Taru if he has it.
Or I wonder if eating this is part of what's making everyone
brainwashing
believe it.
them.
Yeah.
Making himself throw up.
Wow. That's crazy.
Psychic influence. Did he just feel him behind him? Or was it the brainwashing?
I don't know.
That was creepy as fuck.
That was creepy. Yeah,
he's like, oh, it's probably nothing.
I
and
don't
then
know
the
if he was actually there and he's the one who gave him that
or if
stuff.
That's what he's seeing.
If it's just like the feeling of him like trying to take over his mind, or if he was actually there trying to get rid of Taru because he's a psychic. Unlikely, because maybe he would have stepped in. And
well, that's the thing. It's like,
so
okay,
I think it's just like
if all that it took to call him off was Taru, like, say the scenario is like, I mean, we'll probably get an answer in a second, but just looking over the scene, he's like, oh, I feel him behind me. I better lie to make him think that I'm on his side. And then he like, oh no, great helmet sama, yes, oh, divine tree, oh lord. And then this guy, and then the leader's just supposed to be like, oh, okay, false alarm, I guess I'll teleport out of here or whatever. It seems more like, he sort of felt the influence kind of in the room with him or in his body, and the words were real. What is Taru gonna do though?
I don't know.
You should team up with Mob first. Whoa, did you see the eyes? Do you see that? The landscaping?
Oh, holy shit, that's cool.
Creepy. It looks like Mob, kind of.
Oh, no. It's too strong, because so many people are believing in it.
Huh?
Not quite.
What if it's not Dimple, and it's just the tree?
That would be freaky. He's just so powerful. Wow. This would be so terrifying. You're trapped in a giant broccoli. I love that he's still so badass.
I have a feeling this isn't gonna work out for him, though.
Yeah. Mom, you need to get over there. You like how he works at the plant shop now? It's just stealing all the nutrients from every living thing. Oh shit. To just steal all of his powers. Yeah. I told you.
I mean, it just seems so obvious, and then everyone was pissed off at us that we, like,
So that it was
were
obvious.
underwhelmed by that as a reveal.
That's freaky. Carry it off, sink it in the ocean. Just like, oh my god, this is gonna be so much work. A piano? Oh no. Lucky.
Good.
Yeah, thank God.
Close call.
一箇所寄っていいですか？ずいぶん早歩きだな。どこ行くの？リツこの中。紹介したい人たちがいる。
The police. He'll be just like, here are my friends at the police.
この人たちはサイコヘルメット教の人たちだよ。は？兄さん、考え直そうよ。とぼけたって無駄ですよ。真珠を除去しようだ。
Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it?
この町には真珠が必要なんだよ。ちょっと待て。同胞教育した。リツ、どうしたの？真珠を守らなきゃって。そしたらみんながここに集まる。
Hey mob, why don't you like perform a little exorcism on whatever the fuck is going on with him?
Yeah.
座ってよ兄さん。レーゲンさん。平和に話し合いましょう。
It's so freaky.
Get the fuck out of there.
聞く耳持たず。そんな勢いよく逃げなくても。あの場にいたら集団さんになっちまうとこだぞ。
Does it sound familiar to you at all?
さっきの部屋にこれが大量にあった。こいつでリツは洗脳されたのかもしれん。リツが洗脳されたって、そんなの放っておくわけには。落ち着け。慎重に探るよ。
This old man.
無駄なことはせん。サイコヘルメット様は全て見ておられる。
え、なんだそれ。なんで脱いだ？走ったら熱くなったので。着とけよ。
That wasn't my question, for sure. Your school jacket has higher defense points.
Oh my god.
Even this guy?
Everyone.
But I thought that guy was a strong enough psychic to like understand what was going on, but I guess he's not.
Well, he was trying to like take over, like he wanted to be like in charge of it, so that probably like made him more susceptible, other than Taru, who just like had no stake in it at all and thought that it was just silly.
なあモブ、お前サイコヘルメット教をどうも悪い奴らだと思うか？
Hmm?
いえ、悪い人たちではないと思い。
Oh, like the original one.
一緒に何かするのを楽しんでるだけで。お前もそう思うか？俺も。でも新教祖が登場してからは違う。あの人が偽物でみんなを騙して崇めさせているんだとやり方が気に食わない。だがモブ、本物がいないのに奴を偽物というのはどの立場からなんだ？もしかしてお前本物のサイコヘルメットだとでも言いたいのか？いや、もともと教祖の存在しかなかったわけだろう。俺はサイコヘルメットは悪いやつとは思う。どんなコミュニティにもリーダーは必要だろう。同好会の会長と思えば自然だし、活動方針を決めたり円滑な運営を維持するためのまとめ役だろう。変な仕事だ。モブにはできないことをあの方は実践してるんだ。するもんじゃないぜ。祭りは楽しんだもん勝ちだ。彼らに真珠が必要だって言うなら無理に奪うってのは良くないかも。よし、一旦帰るぞ。
Some a little bit suspicious going on there.
Either Reigen is being influenced or he recognizes the hypocrisy of what he does in what is going on with the divine tree. I think that's what it is, because he's just saying, well, like, if it's what people need, then who gives a shit? Like, if people are happy and doing stuff together, then does it really matter what the reason is? If they're not, you know, unhappy, if everybody's unified, then does it?
Except they're not really happy or unhappy, they're blindly following.
But if they think they're happy, then what's the difference? If they're blindly following what Reigen does when he does his hypnosis and shit, so
yeah,
like,
but then afterwards they can just live their normal life and make their own decisions.
Are they not living their own normal life right now?
They're all being like controlled 24/7 and tracking down people who disagree and converting people.
But if they want to do that, then like, what's the difference? What's the difference between what Reigen's doing and what Dimple's doing? They're using deception and fraud to improve people's lives.
Worshipping Reigen. He's not.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's my money. Thank you for helping me with my problems.
and then he never sees them again.
He has return clients,
It's,
and their life is improved by his lies.
But it's not like an organized religion.
Why does it matter whether it's an organized religion or a private business? if the results and the methods are the same.
Are his clients going around to other people, feeding them like tainted food to make them believe in him?
We don't know it's doing anything bad to them. It's whether Reigen is convincing people through words and psychically influencing them through his words and his charisma, or whether they're eating something like made from broccoli that is tainted with some psychic influence in it that gets into their brain or into their psyche and makes them psychically, I guess, influenced in that direction. Does it really matter if it's words or if it's this magic broccoli?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you cannot fight back against it. You can't use your own logic to fight back against.
Do you think the people that Reigen is swindling are fighting back, are capable of fighting back in their situation against what he's doing? They believe him. They are being led astray by his lies into believing things that aren't real. So
but sometimes they are, like, sometimes people are literally being haunted by evil spirits and they exorcise them.
That's not the main business model, and that's not what Reigen sells, and that's not what Reigen does. Reigen employs people like Mob and Serizawa and has been using them to make a little bit of extra money, but his main source of business before they came along and what he set out to do was to scam people out of their money. And it's been a big point that they enjoy the results of that. So I'm saying, like, what Reigen's saying here is, I can't tell if he's been psychically influenced or if he's just making another argument for it. The difference is, and because he's saying exactly what I said earlier in the episode of, like, is Mob, like, really wanting to do this because it's bad, or is it because he got carried away with last episode with his popularity, and now he feels like slighted and like it feels wrong, but he can't say how it's wrong. Like, how is it wrong? If people are healthy, they're happy, they're doing what they want to do, they're connected to each other, and it's based on false pretenses. But there's religions in the real world who don't have psychic influence, and that also probably are fake, but still they bring people together through a common goal and a common cause, and they're being lied to and manipulated, but they aren't real. Like they aren't, they aren't eating magic broccoli, but they're eating crackers and wine at prayer and shit. Like, it's the same thing. It's achieving the same thing through a slightly different medium. People are being convinced that something not real is real, or there's something bigger that connects them all. There's something all that they can gravitate towards and love together, and it has a positive impact on their life. And it does change the way they operate. It makes them act differently than they would otherwise. But does that really matter if the overall thing is positive? That's the question that the show is asking. That's not my argument. I'm not saying that's good or bad, but I'm saying that's kind of what the show is getting at. And that's what I've been waiting for as far as, like, what the fuck is the point of all this? Is it just going to be another shonen arc, or no? There's actually, like, it's asking some interesting questions and drawing some interesting connections.
Reigen 師匠、もしかしてですけど、もうされてませんか？俺が？なるほどな。洗脳されてないのは洗脳されてるって言われるのはこんな気持ちか。町そのものより住民の心がもはや全のヘルメット教信者なんだから、その気持ちを汲むべきだろう。この町は、この世界は真珠や再強制していくんだから。おいモブ、俺は行かねえぞ。おい。僕の勘違いならそれでいい。あの人もこの町で僕だけが。会いに行くの？うん、直接会って話がしたいんだ。みんな通してあげて。モブ君が歩きます。影山修行は初代最高ヘルメット様だ。
So we already had just a big discussion, but I think that's kind of worth asking in all this. But I wonder what's gonna happen. I like the twist that he doesn't go bust in and cut the tree down. He like goes up to talk, and it's like Dimple is expecting him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously he was, because Dimple, tried to make it work out with Mob like the night before, and then when Mob was like, "Oh no, you just can't do that. It's not worth it." Whatever, and then Dimple just is like, okay, fine, I'll go do it myself. Steals all the power from the tree and stuff.
Because the only thing that can take him down is Mob.
Yeah,
and he knows that. That's why he wanted to like recruit him or join forces with him, and why he's wanted to take over his body this whole time is because he knows that Mob has
defeated Dimple like
once.
Well, I guess once, but Dimple himself has been defeated like multiple times.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen here if they're like what kind of a confrontation they're gonna have if he's gonna go up there. Taru's gonna be like unconscious on the ground or something.
What would that do?
I don't like I just because he was the only other person that was able to resist it, or if Taru's gonna have been beaten down and he's gonna be brainwashed too.
I imagine he'll be brainwashed because it seems like I think what happened with Reigen is like the influence is spreading beyond just. Unless Reigen had some sort of contact with some food that we didn't know, but it seems like more there's just like kind of
he's getting so powerful that he doesn't even need
people to ingest
the food anymore because he's just getting more and more powerful every time someone believes in him, and then he can just make people believe in him without even being near them or doing anything to them.
I'm interested in seeing how the show tackles what I just talked about with like what's the difference between what's going on here. I mean, it's obvious they're making like there is literally a religion. There's clearly some commentary on like, and it's been a piece of commentary for the whole show of, what is if harmony comes at like what's the cost of like people being united and harmonized, and like is it if people are feeling peace as a result of lies, then is it really that bad? That's been a thing that's been an argument in Reigen's favor this whole time. But when we apply it to Dimple, suddenly it's so bad because it's at a larger scale. But in real life, there are actual religions that lie to people and that, are corrupt and et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people get a lot of joy from that. And like millions and millions and billions of people get joy and peace from those religions. However, also as is often brought up, there's a lot of not peace that comes from religions and things like that. And maybe that's what the threat will be here. But it might just be that Mob just talks him down and talk no jutsus him, and then the arc's over. But we'll have to see. I don't know. It'll be interesting how they tackle these questions, and how far will Dimple go to like bring all this up, or will the conversation just not actually even be that deep, and it'll just be like, you have to stop this. This is fucked up, and then he just stops, and it'll be really good because it's Mob Psycho. But I want they've done an interesting job of bringing up all these ideas in previous seasons, so I really hope that they like do this conversation justice and these themes justice by like actually engaging with them in an interesting way. Because usually they do, so I have hope that they will. But we'll see.
I like that, just at the end when he's just like realizes he's the only person that's not like completely out of their mind, and then everyone starts like hyping him up at the end, and it's like what like.
But also, if you notice, nobody's being attacked other than Taru, but Taru like went in and attacked first.
Well, it's the thing of if you try to resist.
Then what?
Then they will like keep either harassing you, or if you're actively resisting like Taru, then he'll just fight you.
Very like burst in there and challenged him to a fight.
Yeah.
First, like it's not like, oh, you're not bending to my will. Well, then I'll kill you. That's not really how that broke down. Like what happened was Taru busted in and was like, I'm gonna cut down this tree. And then he like fought back because this tree is like basically his like property, or he has a vested interest in this. But Mob goes up and doesn't attack, and then they just let him through. And when Mob and Reigen were just going around the whole city, where people weren't like beating them down.
No,
they were like, it was really creepy how everybody kept showing up and saying, "We see all, the psycho helmet sees all," or whatever. But they weren't being violent. So like, at what point is this going to turn from just like people are unified and it's all good to there's like a weird mob mentality, or people are being sort of used for violence?
And I also think it's because Dimple says that he doesn't care about Mob, but I think he does.
When did he say that?
He said that in the fight with Taru. He's like, he doesn't matter. I've always wanted to be a god, and that's all that matters. But I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that's 100% true, and that's really all that matters, and that he doesn't care about Mob at all. So I think that's why he was trying to like dissuade Mob, even with Reigen like being like, "Oh, you just didn't have it in you," kind of saying what Mob said to Dimple to try and discourage him. Of like, "Oh, well, you're just not that guy. You just need to give it up already, and
you're not that guy, pal.
And go home."
Yeah.
Because, but then when he doesn't, then he invites him in, because that's probably better. Because, Mob can probably defeat him, and he probably knows that too.
Definitely, I have no doubt that Mob, if he turns up, that he could beat him in a fight, even with all this shit.
Yeah. The only thing that could hold him back is knowing that it's Dimple.
Yeah.
And not wanting to hurt him. Because, even though he is an evil spirit, he's really been there for him a lot of the time.
Yeah. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.